If you could see the little tear.
Oh man.
Because that's true, man. That you can't. That's what they tell you. Like, okay, this is gonna be real dramatic and shit.
Yeah.
But when the airplane is going down, what do they tell you? Put the mask on yourself first, and then help the next person. Because if you fucking pass out, you ain't gonna help nobody, right? So it's the same thing. You got to put the mask on yourself, and that's what you're doing. So
unless you're Future, mask off. Fuck it, mask off.
Unless you're Future. Yeah.
Podcast and stuff.
Yes, long time in the making.
We just started. Who am I here with today?
You are here with Tiletha Cannon.
Middle name.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I ever knew that.
Yeah, Tiletha Cannon. TLC, man.
Oh.
TLC. I can actually own that. TLC, Tiletha Cannon.
Damn. So. That's my artist name and Instagram name and name on everything.
See?
ALR. That's just my name. It's Abraham Luis Rivera.
See, you gotta give a shout out to the middle name, especially because I always think about that.
That's why I can't do it on all the platforms, but the L is capital and A and R is minimal. If I can do it,
right?
I can't do it on every platform like that. But yeah.
But you gotta find a way to make yourself stand out, even with your initials, right? So that works.
It used to be just ALR, and I took it from one of my original favorite artists, BT. His name's Brian Transo or something. Okay. And he was just called BT. And he was a G, and I was like, I want to be a G too, so I'm gonna just use ALR. But then I would Google ALR and nothing would come up. So I put Boosh because I was always saying that anyway.
Yes.
And that became instantly Googleable.
That's awesome. So, so you're like, all right, we'll stick with that.
Yeah.
I love that you say that, Boosh. I'm like.
So and I wish I would say it more in reality because I almost never use it verbally.
Oh, okay.
But in text form, I'm like Boosh. Or
bacon, Instagram, that's what you always say.
I hardly speak those words.
Okay.
But I always say I want to change it. I never do. But verb texturally, I use that a lot. Like, yo, Boosh or whatever.
Hey, that's what I know you as, so it
sometimes
works.
I feel like, and I was doing this on my own for years before they were even on the macro map. But I'm like, in my head, I'm like, that's almost like my ASAP. ASAP Rocky.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm gonna have like a bunch of Booshes one day.
Man, I need to think about that.
It's gonna be like Steve Boosh or some Boosh or
just the descendants of Boosh.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's gonna happen. Descendants of Boosh. That'll be like that Rough Rider album.
See,
like where album 1 sells great, but 2 and 3 and 4 no one cares about.
as long as you mention me when you have the descendants of Boosh, that I said that. As long as you make a mention,
you're not
I'll
gonna
be cool
DJ on it.
Yo, man, that you brought the DJing, that is just, it's wild because that's still in my heart. That's still in my heart, right?
Yo, but the heart, I was gonna say the heart ain't real. That's bullshit. I didn't mean to say nothing like that. But you gotta take it from the heart to reality
and make it to reality, right?
Only you see it in your heart, but we can't hear it.
I need to give it to the world. So real talk. What's happening? What I'm realizing is that I'm developing myself so I can put myself into my music or into my writing, whatever it is, because I got to discover myself because.
Get ready for the
hey, that's cool. I like it. It's like revenue up. I love it. But because it's true. Because I want to make people moved. And if what I'm putting out there is just bullshit, then that's not what I'm about. I'm about making you look at a picture that I did, and you're like, oh, or you heard something. Like that's my ultimate goal, right? So I'm developing myself so I can put myself into anything I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at. So the DJ is still much a part of I'm getting myself together. So when I put it out there, it's like you just, that's my jam. So
at the same time, I'm like, I'm a big just do it person, but like even if you're not putting it out there, like I don't know what your time schedule like, because I know before time was a thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but like maybe just start touching.
I'm gonna start actually. I want to get a keyboard. I'm starting to kind of get back into music.
Produce too.
Yeah,
I feel like back then you just wanted to DJ.
I did, but now I'm understanding like I have an ear for music, so I really want to explore it. And like you said, like doing this podcast, right here is actually the first step of me starting to do these things. Right? Like, because before I was like,
I'm coming out.
I want the world to know. Yeah, exactly.
I know it more for the sample. So I'm like, I don't know the rest of the song.
That's as far
I
know.
need Biggie to rhyme now.
That's as far as I go. So we're good. We're good.
P-I-G-P-O-P-P.
Yes. But I feel you, man. So this is the start right here. This right here, like when when the future becomes the reality, we can look back and say, this was the one. Like, you started with me, like this podcast, because I'm going to take this, I'm going to learn how to do this and duplicate it, but I have to do it myself first, right? And so I'm learning from you. You're sharing something with me. So.
I always felt funny because you said that, you used to say that back in the day. Because mad people don't know. You was my mentor, but you was always telling me, I feel like you mentoring me.
Because it's true. It's true. That's true. That's the way it's supposed to be. It was never, when they make it seem like, oh yeah, the mentor is supposed to give everything to the mentee. That's bullshit. It's supposed to be a two-way street. You teach me things and I teach you things. And you taught me a lot because you and I are like, we're the same free-spirited people in this corporate box, right? So we stand out already. So that was already our bond. So, yeah, I was totally digging what you were about, like the things we were talking about. And I couldn't help but just be like, yeah, I share a connection with this soul. So, yeah, I learned a lot from you and stuff I still think about to this day. You know, every time, like, okay, I'm going to share this memory.
Do it.
So, you know how you'd wear, like, the same outfit?
Yeah.
I'm going there, man. I'm going there. I always thought about it as, I remember I asked you about it one time and you said, yeah, I'm going to work. This is my work outfit. It's like having a uniform, like if you work, you know, I don't know, Best Buy or something.
Yeah.
And when you said that, I was like, shit, that's true. Like, wearing the same thing, it is your uniform, you know.
So I probably got trained that way because private school.
Oh, okay.
I was in Catholic school growing up, which in retrospect probably like saved my life because honestly, like, I always tell people I'm from like South Bronx. But I don't really like ever say like, yeah, man, grew up on these hard streets. My life's tough.
Yeah.
Because I think my life was great. But like in retrospect, I can also look back and I'm like, yo, it's like I took the perfect, not like even if it wasn't me doing it and other people, it's like I took the perfect path to avoid all the dumb shit that was going around.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
A lot of dumb shit and going on. And like I think going to those schools was probably part of like saving my life, from being like casualty number 45, whatever. For sure. What was it called? But I heard that recently come up in another podcast I was hearing about, if we got work uniforms, why don't we have? You need to have it at home too, like for your life. Maybe not for your life, but definitely like at home because they were talking about like. You act a certain way at work, but then you bring that home to your like. I think it was talking more in relationships. I was saying
take your work clothes off, like and turn into. I get you.
That different person.
Yes, you can disconnect, and you can make a distinct separation. Man, see, I'm all about that. Like for real, I am so because my philosophy is I go to work so I can live. I don't live to go to work. So when I'm done with work, I do that. I switch. I take all my work clothes off. I put my regular uniform clothes, home clothes on, and I'm just good. And it makes a difference because now you're relaxed, you're chilling. If you're still in your work clothes, you're still in that rhythm. And I'm nah. And plus, people have been coughing on you and all kinds of stuff. You got germs on you. Take those hose off. And throw them and wash them. You know. So
I feel that. Do they still do the mentor stuff there? Or?
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
Are you doing one right now?
I just signed up. I hadn't done one since you and I had done it. I had a lot of because I got a new position. I was in these positions where I could not. Dedicate. I can dedicate. I'm trying to keep my head above water.
It was rough even with hours. Yeah,
it was crazy. So I actually was being smart about it. When I was ready, I applied. But this time around, I actually met. So this girl, she reached out to me. It was like, hey, I want to shout at you. I want to see what's going on. And so when she came over, we actually bonded then. And I said, hey, you know what? We should be in the mentoring program. And then the mentoring program was starting a month later. So we just applied. I'm pretty sure we're the first two people to apply. That email came in. We were like, oh, snap, do it. So we applied. And then hopefully they'll see that we put each other's names and we can go for it. Because we have a real good energy. We like crystals. We like, we have a really good connection. So hopefully it works out. But yeah, I'm back in that again.
I mean, if it don't, I feel like you could probably talk to some people. Hopefully make it happen.
Well,
they don't want to be stuck. I feel like why not? I
just go with the flow, man. I feel like the universe is doing good things for me as long as I'm in a good space. I could just trust that universe is going to take care of me. Just get out its way, because sometimes we do that, right? We want things and then we get in our own way to kind of fuck it up. And it's like,
yeah. So I'm bouncing back and forth right now with that.
Oh yeah, tell me.
Yeah, I've been I've been bouncing back because last year was like like you would hear me just like you said, the uniform thing. So it's like I was always about it, but I became really about it once I got freed from that place. Because I just had more time,
Right.
Like
right.
I haven't had a real job since then. So I think we're getting to the point where I might have to return, unfortunately.
Okay.
But a lot of my friends, like especially that friend I told you who's moving, like he was like, because sometimes I feel down. He's like, dude, last time I checked, you ain't had a real job since when? It's like, look like you're doing pretty fine to me.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you seem okay to me.
Yeah, it's like, you doing podcasts and shit? Like, what are you talking about? Shut up.
No sympathy.
Yeah. None. But, I don't even remember. Oh, yeah. Like, but I think in the last year, like, I think I became aware. I don't know how deep I'm gonna go this. I don't mind sharing it, but I might sidetrack, and I'm a tangent king.
Cascading thoughts. I'm all about that. So let's go.
Like I definitely discovered that I could become depressed. It was the first time I became aware of it. You know?
Okay.
I've probably been depressed before more than last year, and last year was a lot. I started having a lot of real conversations with everybody, not just on here, but just like everybody. Who knows? Maybe that's a combo product from doing this, but it might also be. I read this book. It was like 2 books that helped, I guess, affect me a lot. One was Daring Greatly. You heard of that yet?
No, I haven't.
Brown. That's about like sharing like stuff that maybe you feel ashamed. Yeah, write that down.
Write that down.
Great book. She got a Netflix special, but honestly, the book's like 85 billion times better.
Would you say Daring what?
Daring Greatly.
Daring Greatly.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
And she based out of Houston too.
Ooh.
So it's not even that far.
Okay. All right.
But
Daring Greatly.
I think like to sum that one up like real quick, that one's just like about like sharing like the things that ails us, that hold us down, like whatever we're ashamed of, these mental prisons, like with the people we love,
Yeah.
And that way like frees us from the prison of shame,
Right.
So that we can almost transcend it. So I was able to do that with a lot of people. One in particular, which is a reason for depression number 2 last year. But yeah, see now I'm like comboing shit. But anyway,
well, because it's all related. There's so many things that are related, so it's hard not to.
But last year was the first year I became aware of that. So it was like a lot of it was almost like last year I saw myself for maybe who I was, and I never could see myself clearly, and I didn't necessarily like it. So it kind of like ruined my mind a little bit. And then I used to tell people I had 3 depressions last year, and I didn't have 3. Like I kind of like put it all together like towards the end of last year, and now like I just had one long one, but I had 2 like really awesome distractions, and those were the 2 girls. The one I mentioned that moved, and another one who I probably connected to more than probably like 95% of our friendship was like text.
Okay.
I probably connected to her more than I did like probably any girlfriend I ever dated. Like,
yeah.
But so that one like really messed me up. But like once I realized like it was kind of just all the same line, it made me even wonder if I liked any of these people, and it was more like just kind of like a distraction from facing myself, which is why every depression got deeper and deeper.
Yes,
because I wasn't dealing with myself,
Yeah.
But I don't even remember where I was going with any of that. But like that's been like that's the quickie version, because there's more longer and detailed versions of that. But then I'll just keep talking forever. but
I like that though, because what I liked about that is that so every hero goes through that stage where they die, right? Where let me back up. Where they have to face themselves, the truth of themselves.
Mortal Kombat called it "Test Your Might."
Yeah. See, okay, for me, it's gonna take me back. But the never-ending story.
Oh yeah.
Where he has to.
I had a dog that looked like Falco.
Oh my God! See, this movie is near and dear to my heart. But there's this point where he has to go to the 5th gate, I believe, and he has to face himself. And in any, excuse me, and in any classic hero movie or book or whatever, there's usually that stage where they're facing their true selves and really seeing who they really are. And sometimes they run away screaming from what they see. And then sometimes they're disillusioned, or sometimes they're like, they accept it and they accept all of it, right? And so for you, it's like one of those where you saw it and it made you not happy. But then that's also a catalyst for you to fix it so you can be happy. But getting there is it's easy to talk about it, but going through those emotional boxes, the chains that we wrap around ourselves, it's hard because you're trying to talk about something that you cannot grasp, but you have to be able to grasp it. And to teach, it's easy to be like, hey, this is how you catch a ball. But how do you catch something you can't touch? And so when you read those books and they give you that context, those are the little clues that get you closer and closer. So, when you say you went through your depression, it's like, man, I feel for you, but at the same time, I'm happy for you, because it's like you're digging up things that were holding you back as a soul, as a person, that once you get those things taken care of, man, I'm so happy for what's going to come out.
Yeah, I felt like I've heard that from a few people, and I'm like, man, I can't wait to be another.
I know. You're like, man, these motherfuckers talking about this stuff like it's so great, but where is it? But,
but also, I also felt a lot last year, and maybe my whole life, but I only became like this last year, because like I said, last year was the only like time I became aware that this was me. I'd never seen this movie, just like clips here and there, but I felt like Hitch. Will Smith in Hitch, because he's helping people I guess date, but I guess he sucks at it or something. And I felt like that because the second girl, like, I really helped her a lot, and it's only like once it all went really bad like that, I could only see like, yo, I was the same thing,
yeah,
like in my own way going through this, and I wasn't even aware of it,
Wow.
Wow. And yeah, so it's just like I always throw a parallel to that. I should watch that movie just to see how he solves it. But I mean,
you should, and plus you should, because when's the last time you saw that movie? Like how long ago?
Technically, never. Like I've only seen clips.
That's right. You said that.
So it would be like flipping
right.
channels. So I would see segments here.
Well,
and
definitely.
there.
Now that you've got this brain, because it's cool, man. Because you're just like your level of awareness.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to be aware of something.
Yeah.
Like you said, you weren't even aware you were depressed. And then figuring that out, that's huge, right? And then your awareness grows and grows and grows. So yeah, watch that movie with this new brain of yours that has discovered what it has. And then you'll probably pull so many more things out of that and then be like, oh shit, this is how I can apply it to my life. The answer might be there and you'll be like, boop. And then
maybe.
There you go.
Now I'm like anxious too.
Yeah, you're like excited.
I saw Matrix recently, like during the states of those depressions, just to because that same friend, he was like, the way he described Matrix, I was like, what movie did you see? I was like, I feel like a lot of it is really more for movie 1, but he's like, he makes movie 2 and 3 even sound epic,
Yeah,
because I know a lot of people like to hate on those, and I get it, but and I saw it and I could sort of get some more from it now. But I'm like, man, he pulled some real shit. He needs to write a book on what he pulled from.
Don't get me started on the Matrix, because that is just the blueprint for a lot of stuff. And yeah, people hate on 2 and 3, but it's like a rocket. Number 1 was the engine to blast everything into outer space.
Yeah.
And 2 and 3 was like, just going out and exploring and doing the rest. So
I mean, so like if we remove it from what we talking about, these life parallels and the meanings those movies have, and if we just take them now, like, all right, movies and stories, and like now I like to think of myself as a writer.
Oh, okay.
I damn am. That's why.
Yeah, because you are, man. You are. I am a writer.
Oh, and check this out. Because you were talking about the DJ and music and all that stuff, and like the future and bringing it. And I was like, my friend likes to point this out, and these are things that like I get it, I understand, but it's like I haven't like fully switched in where I buy it. It's like I believe it, but it's like I don't believe. I'm not acting.
Yes.
But it's like, and pop more people will probably start to address this, but Endgame toyed with this, and that's major mainstream. So a lot of people have this, but there was a Flash episode that did it, and it just made me angry. It made me almost start of hating the show because a lot of us think it's time as linear. Yeah. See, Doctor Who tied all that.
Yes, we're the tie just for you, man. Doctor Who all the way.
My favorite doctor used to always say, people think like time is linear, but it's like time is more like wibbly wobbly.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
But no, I was saying like so. But for
man.
some people, like time, like everything's kind of has happened already. It's all at once. So and it's less about destiny, but it's not that preordained stuff. But it's like, who's to say like time is linear? It's like, well, once you escape that, then like it'll kind of already happen. Now you just got to get there.
Exactly. You're waiting for the 3D part of it to catch up.
Already. You are a producer already.
Yes, already. Give me some.
Boom.
Boom.
Yes. Or Boosh. I say
love
that.
It. Yes, Boosh. Yes. Okay, one more time. Ready?
Oh, Boosh. You can't fake the moment, though. You know?
No, but it's cool. No, it felt good. I had to feel like we had to do it again.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes so nice you had to do it twice. That's the DJ rewind.
Exactly.
Rewind.
See, man, I love how you are just, I love how you capitalize on the moments. That's why, like, for me, for you, like, when I watch you, I have a feeling you just don't understand how special you are. I think you don't believe that.
The awareness is just coming through.
Yeah.
Only took 33, 40.
See, but that's good, though. That's good, though. I mean, because some people don't realize it at all.
Yeah,
so,
I've heard
I mean,
that too,
just for me, for you, I just want to say, like, I see the specialness in you. Like, it's not fake. It's not contrived. Like, you doing this right now. Like, this takes courage, man. This takes courage, and this is you being proactive and doing something you clearly love.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself out there. So, I mean, that's specialness. So I know you're dealing with what you're dealing with, but from my perspective, like, you got some stuff going on for you, man. So I'm happy for you.
It's all how we look at things. It's all how we flip it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm working on embracing those things, because I feel like once I embrace it, like, I'm about to do some stuff. I feel like I'm gonna do some crazy stuff this year, man. Like,
of course you are. It's 2020. You can't.
I really
everybody
just gotta like, yo, man, don't care about numbers, yo.
No, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about numbers. I'm talking about the birth of it's a new decade. So that energy that's flowing. 2020. Yeah.
I just sometimes I feel like people tie it to like New Year, New Me, and all that stuff, and I hate that stuff because I'm like, yo, that time is like made up by somebody.
You can do that anytime.
Yeah,
Tomorrow could be the new you, whatever. Yeah, I feel you.
There's only one people who care about that. The gym membership people.
Exactly. You can do whatever you want to.
Revenue.
I mean, wait, if that's what it takes for you to do it, great. But don't let that be your one. Like, oh shit, I missed it, and now I gotta wait till next year. No, man, you do it the next day or something.
The sun comes up every day. Not
yes,
just
it does.
January,
No. So you just take advantage of those opportunities and go for it.
Yeah, because I feel like I've always said this a lot. And I got one friend who's like, man, you was talking about doing it. He probably might see this maybe, so I always like shout him out. But he's like, you was talking about doing it, man. But like but now it's time to start doing it. But when I knew you, I probably was only doing music and I was just starting actually. So I was doing the Street Fighter podcast, not even this one, the Street Fighter podcast.
I think I remember you talking about that a little bit. I remember that.
That was actually still damn.
Yeah, I watched one of those actually. I remember.
I'm sorry. Those is rowdy though. I like that shit. I'm more the shy one. So I was surrounded by the crew. So that's how it started. Cause like back then, it's funny because he banned himself from our life right now, so we don't see him no more. My trumpet player,
sad clown.
One of the things I used to say about
I remember you talking about. I remember the trumpet player, like that name, the trumpet player.
Yeah. That's a street name. Yeah, trumpet player. Cool. So like. He had a Robin mentality, like in that, like he always wanted to do. He had ideas, but he never wanted to be the guy. So like he never wanted to be Batman. So he would bring him to me and be like, "Yo, we should do this." Or like, I want to do this. Cool. Like I want you a part of it, so I could spearhead it. You know?
I see.
And that would be annoying because at that point I'm doing like all these things. You know?
I remember you being like doing a lot of stuff.
But that Street Fighter podcast in retrospect was like that, and then like I did everything, but like I didn't really wasn't ready to do this yet. The host. I surrounded myself with like the Wu-Tang Clan of the Street Fighter crew. And it was cool. Because at that point, like, that was my first time starting it. And the two things that made me want to do podcasts was Kevin Smith. Okay. And you familiar with him or not?
No.
He's like an indie director, but he's kind of just guy just does stuff. Like, don't wait. He's like, he's everything's kind of him, and like a lot of these things having your own brand or whatever. But he did this like way long ago. So he's one of the podcast OGs. Like,
so he's a mover. Like he has an idea and just goes for it. Yeah. That's cool. You can respect that. That's cool.
And like he says, he's the idea guy, but like at the same time, like at this point, because he's in it now, he always like, I didn't do nothing though. I thought of it and I made sure it happened, but like everybody else did it. He's like, this is amazing. Like I just say stuff and stuff happens.
He's just the brainchild.
Yeah. But he was one of the podcast OGs. It wasn't like the first guy, because the first guy is some dude who's really not famous. I forgot his name. But he's one of like the first 5 that blow up, because like no one's doing it. Like there's no service for podcasts. I had to go to his website and download it like from his website.
What?
That's how old it was. Wow. But it was just him and the homie chilling, and I loved them so much that like I was like, I want to do that one day, and I did, and. That combined with the aLrboosh show. The aLrboosh show is a Street Fighter podcast in New York. Like old school fighting games. Go back. See, now I'm just tangenting like a hardcore. Dope. And I'm just talking too much. But man,
you're sharing your experience.
Old school fighting games.
Yeah.
is very minority driven. It's kind of like why you see basketballs played by predominantly black people.
Yeah.
Like, fighting games are like that. It's black people, Hispanics, and no matter what games, always Asians. It's always it's black people, but it goes back to arcade culture.
I was just gonna bring that up.
Because we didn't have money, so we could afford a quarter, but we couldn't afford a system.
The game, like all of it. Yeah.
The original places. And this is why there's a bias right now. But it's changed now with the internet and there's different stuffs. And now, since I live in Texas, so you hear the Texas complaints to the rest of the fighting game, and Dallas becoming a thing, and blah blah blah. But anyway, the original OG places were NorCal, SoCal, and New York. Like because they had those are just big hubs. I was gonna say
that's where.
Yeah.
The main streets.
Original mainstream stuff. But those would be the original places, and they were very dominant regions. For a long time, but because of that, and then with hip hop going, like original fighting game community have very hip hop style, like raw aesthetic to it, and that's what I think I gravitated to it a lot, and that's why, for probably no one's hearing this who's in that, but I hung out with them on Friday, but. That's why it can be very hard for me to be in the fighting games now. We're in very esports PC era.
Right.
And it's like I miss that rawness. And the rawness still exists, but in pockets.
I see. You have to go like underground to really get there.
Yeah.
I see what
now
you're
it's
saying.
very PC. And I get it. It's less hate and it's more inclusive and that's great for everybody. But it's some boring ass shit. This look like what my friends are watching. This look like football. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's the same thing, but now you guys are playing a game and the game they've even been dulled and diluted.
Right.
And it's like, oh man. But the On Black show, to go right back,
had
tell
that raw
call. And it's funny because this is a white dude, too, hosting it. But he brings all these people who are not white, like at all.
Like everybody that doesn't look like him.
Yeah. No, because now at this point, he's probably like 50 plus, maybe even 60. Like, but he'll still do this show occasionally because he's like, dude, these are just games. I ain't got time for this shit no more.
So tell me about this. So when you were doing your podcast, what were you trying to...
I wanted to be like him, like his show. That's why I'm bringing, because his show... was just bringing these fighting game people and they would just talk this real shit, a lot of words going on, you know.
You wanted the technical side of from the players, you wanted this the players to come on and just talk about how it really is.
But it's people being raw too, no one caring about their sponsorship, they just saying hard shit, and so he would be like John Bandage to his community, and I had it's kind of funny, I can't say if the nation is like that. But just me seeing how raw the fighting game communities were there, and then I'd get around this one. At that point, that fighting game community here in San Antonio was raw too, and not the best people. Not necessarily gangsters killing nobody,
right? But it's a little rough.
It's a lot of grimy people.
Yeah.
But those ended up being a lot of my co-hosts, and those guys as long as I did everything, that's not. They weren't saying this, but that's kind of worked out. If I built it, everybody will come and show up.
Of course.
So I had
if you cook all the food, of course everybody's gonna show up. What are you talking about?
So they would all help. Yeah. So in a lot of ways, they helped me a lot because they would help with the hosting. They knew the games more than me. I loved it. I was a hardcore fan. But then one of them who's I never really say relationships break up with people and stuff, but it's he's one of the few people I would say this guy's like a scumbag. He's a terrible person. But at the same time, it's he was the initiator for you want to get some real players. And so we got famous players from around the world.
Man, he sucked, but he had good ideas. He could make stuff happen.
I only have a T-shirt with the Street Fighter logo, but it says Boosh Fighter because of this dude. So it's kind of funny, as evil as he might be, is still kind of helped out, you know.
Well, you're kind of bad, but it's
and
all right.
one of my when I was really down, I used to talk about moving to Phoenix a lot.
Okay.
And I was his former best friend. And it's he wasn't even part of the game thing. He just liked to drink a lot back then, and that was it.
So he was the guy that would just show up and drink?
It's but he changed his life now, too. And it's I talked to that guy now. So it's funny, how a lot of good things came from him, even though he's still not good to this day. You know?
It's how does that happen? How does that happen? But
it's just kind of funny, how good it can come from maybe not the best places.
That is true.
But once that died out, I started doing this. But it was the same thing, but now about freeform. Because if you hear the first maybe 7 episodes, it's me and my New York friends. So we're doing it on it's called Discord, but if you know what Discord is, it's just another Skype. It's just Skype, but not Skype. But a lot of friends in New York and Cali, but even the Cali friends were from New York. And we're just doing raw hangout talk, yo, this Marvel movie suck or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then I did an interview like this with an artist. At that point, it was the NBA Finals, and I still followed basketball. I was like, man, shit is trash, blah blah blah. You know, whatever. You know, it's
I remember you being in the basketball.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, how can I not?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, no, I was gonna spit a bar from like this song, one of my songs, but anyway.
So you got give me that, man. Give me that. Yo. It's been a while since I seen you. Give me that stuff. Give me that stuff.
No, it has to keep going. But
I mean, of course. So when the time comes.
It will come. But where was I? Oh yeah, but then I did one of these, and I was like, I think it just might be this, and everybody just kept getting busy. And again, those people were kind of showing up because I was like wanting them to show up, but it was like, well. That's when I started becoming like, man, if I just kind of do, and if I look back, I was doing that all the time. I kind of just do everything myself. And granted, at the end of the day, you can't do everything yourself, but you kind of can.
Right.
You know,
at least when you're starting out.
It'll kind of bring everything. So I just kind of was like, well, I can just keep getting people. And then it kept going from there. And as I look back, that's kind of what it's always been, you know, like a lot of like, doing everything myself. A lot of my favorite musicians, kind of like I did it all myself.
That's cool.
Master P just came up on my radar recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And,
tell me about that.
And I was a big No Limit head growing up in New York, repping the South.
Man.
Which is weird at that time. Because at that time, you don't do that. Because it was the East Coast West Coast war. But I was telling my friend.
That was like what, back in the 90s or late 90s? Was that?
Yeah. I don't say late 90s, but maybe for him, he's probably doing it early 90s. But by the time I'm able to get a notice of it, there's still Blockbusters.
Okay.
Because I remember seeing Ghetto D and Blockbusters.
Yes, Blockbusters. Yes.
Yeah. But I noticed, and this is one of the things that I'm gonna start for this year. So we're gonna bring it all on back.
Yeah, tell me.
But I'm listening to Master P the other day on Snoop Dogg's show because everybody got a show, right?
Of course,
everybody got a show now. You know, like
everybody.
So you better have one in a year too. But anyway,
thank you, sir. Thank you.
But I'm hearing Master P talk, and it's funny. Like Master P, like I'll still show up. Like I ain't bumping none of that music right now, but I'm like I'll still show up, hear him talk, and he's probably one of the hidden legends. I don't know why. Like people don't talk to him. Maybe it's because he's old South. And I don't know. Like people talk about Cash Money, and they live across the street from each other, even though they ain't mess with each other. That's true. But like
that's true.
They don't really put him. But he was probably like more DIY than all of them. That's why. So I don't know, man. But whatever. Like that dude's talking like ownership this, ownership that, and I'm like, I feel like that's been brought to my attention recently from a lot of places.
Okay.
That like that's how one acquires true wealth. Like ownership. I know a lot of people like talk about houses, but like I'm not gonna say that don't exist.
Right.
Because there is a truth to that. But I think even people go about that wrong because and granted, I know people are not rich, but it's like I know this is ownership, but it's like you just tying yourself to a 30-year mortgage unless you're buying that on day one.
You gotta have a plan.
You know what I mean?
like people, they buy houses and they don't have a plan for buying the house. Like they just want to buy and live in it. It's like, are you gonna invest in it and then flip it? Like, what are you trying to do? Have a plan. That's what houses are really for, and people don't understand that.
He made movies. He made records.
You have to diversify.
He did everything in house. He paid $25,000 to meet Michael Jackson's lawyer, and he's like, the thing he got from that was he got a distribution deal from Priority at the time, and it was like he gets to keep 85% of the money and 15% to the label. Versus if he just signed as an artist, then you get advanced.
Less,
and now that I'm way more educated, everybody's talking about advances and stupid shit. That's why Jay-Z will shit on like in 444, if you heard that album from Jay-Z.
No, I haven't.
It's an old man record because he's just talking knowledge and stuff. But he's like, man, cats is still getting advances. And I'm talking to my friend, who's very financially savvy. He's like, dude, why people want to be on a label getting advance? I'm like, dude, that's just a loan. Like, we could go to the bank right now to take out a loan.
Exactly.
But they got connections, of course. But essentially, it's just like...
It's the same thing.
It's just a loan. It's like, yo, we don't need any of that. And now we all got distribution because we just sign up. We pay some company. Like, the cheapest plan is $20. So I'll just use that as an example.
Okay.
You get 100% of everything. Master P only got 85.
Oh.
You get 100% now. You know, like
so it's about being educated on what you're doing and making those right decisions.
So I'm saying, like, now we can do what he did, where it took work, where he had to pay $25,000 just to have a meeting with this dude.
Now you can just do this for $20. And
you know, like it's all there. Now you gotta build those connections and other stuff yourself.
You still gotta hustle to do that, right?
But there's ways to do all this shit, and as I keep bouncing
around,
and
that's what I see you doing. Like I see. Like, even in this space that we're in, this is a space of creativity and making shit happen. Making shit happen. 5 billion
videos in this room.
See? See, that's what I'm saying. That you can feel the energy of this space.
I can also feel the energy of Google Fiber. Shout out to the one and only true good ISP.
Shout out.
You have to shout them out because they're only in like 5 places like in America.
Well, they're getting there. They're moving slower. They're getting
and everybody else is trash. This is facts. This is factually true. Well, if you can get Fios or one, but I say 99% of America's internet infrastructure is trash. That's a big thing for me.
Yo, man, I'm gonna be completely honest. I love the way your brain works. Like, I love like watching you just. It's amazing. I love the things that go through your brain.
These are things that were all important to me at some point in my life.
That's obviously that's why I'm amazed, because I'm in this phase where I'm observing just people and just.
I feel bad because I'm superly overly talking.
No,
so people
man.
who want to see about you, they're gonna be like, yo, this other cat is just talking forever.
But see, it's a part of the process. It's about me watching you, because I'm watching you. I'm watching you just, and obviously you feel comfortable enough to be sharing these things and to be doing what we're doing now. So I'm cognizant of those things. Like I realize you're doing a lot of talking, but I'm like, hey, he feels comfortable. He feels cool. He wants to share these things. So I'm embracing it. Right. I understand what my effect has on people. See, people don't understand that point. Like, they don't understand that their energy can do things. And I know that mine can do one or two things. It either calms people down or it revs them up. Just like, hey,
in my case.
Namaste. Yeah, I mean, it happens because I'm in a good space where I feel relaxed and calm. So you feel relaxed and calm. So yeah, that's
it ties into you are the 5 people. Right, that you keep around. That's why I want to try like live in the same spot with this dude, because I feel like that might change me for the better, made me think a certain way about certain things. Yeah,
because you need that. You need that because you need that help. Just sometimes you just need that one person that just says things in that way that you understand and gives you a different perspective, and then and then you run with it yourself. But you just need that spark. Yeah.
These things ain't gonna stop too, but I'm like. I feel like there's gonna be some restructuring because I do want to get back to music. And I feel like the concert videos, like I was supposed to film Friday, but I didn't, and I'm not sure quite why. Like that's a whole thing. But I just had a vibe like I don't even want to be here, so I left. Yeah. But I came up with a new filming style. It's really good and sexy. So I wanted a few videos, and I do have a few videos. Okay. It looks really amazing. Okay. So, but I'm gonna probably put that like to a pretty decent halt. But I do want to get back to music. And
cool, man. That's so cool.
I want to, this is what I've said for a lot of people, and I still haven't acted on it, but because I do all of these. So it ain't like I'm being lazy, but it's like I made a bunch of stuff. It just wasn't music. Right. You know? Right. But I did start making beats. Shout out to one of the girls last year. I got so depressed, I started making music.
Okay. Hey, whatever your muse is, whatever that muse is sometimes.
But then but I don't want beats no more. Like, that's why I started getting into rap and stuff. I want songs, you know? Okay. I try to dabble with the singing, but I know the voice ain't the thing. But I was like, especially when I started, like now I feel like
auto-tunes.
Yeah. I got some of that. Okay. But I mean, like, that's why I was like, well, if I can't sing, rapping's, I won't say easier, but you know, like it doesn't. The timbre doesn't matter as much.
And you do it well. Like I like the timbre.
But now
I've
done it a lot. But now I've done it But yeah, no, I want to release a song every week, because I've seen that pattern work with other people, and then like a lot of just from studying enough stories, you know, like it's like, dude, a lot of it is just kind of building it, and then like slowly you can kind of restructure. Yeah, like I don't have no plans. I know I have a friend who wants me to play live. I'm like, yo, the next time I play live, it's gonna be like 10 G's in ticket sales. Oh, okay. I ain't playing live again like at this. Right. I'm kind of done with this.
You got goals. You got things you're trying to get to. Okay. So let me ask you about. So you're talking about the grind, right? So do you know Young and May?
I heard them on Eminem's.
Okay. So Wifey. Shout out to Wifey. I love you. I mentioned Young and May. Yeah. That she's all about that grind, right? She's independent, and she's like you said, you put in your time, and she releases videos and songs and all that stuff. So when you talked about that, it's like, oh, you're talking about like really just blasting. You're putting your stuff out there, so it's a constant bombardment.
I've done that. If you combine everything I do, I've technically already do it. I'm just you
have tons of content.
What is it called? Jack of all trades. I'm just kind of everywhere.
But blast that content, yo. Put that content out there.
That's cool, but I want to I just want to get it more towards me. Like I think the less of it that it involves me, the less of it. This is what I'm trying to shift to. The less. So I want to try to get the music as the center. Okay. Because that's all me.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Okay. I'm not gonna quit the podcast, because I'm still on it. But I want to do less of it because there's less of me, and damn, there was another reason. I don't remember. But anyway, there's less of me, and the one I want to do the least of is the concert. There's none of me because I'm filming you.
Right.
So fuck you.
I see what you're saying.
In the nicest way possible.
Just trying to put yourself out there. So the music, you want to be known for the music.
I don't even necessarily want to be known for that either. I don't know. I like doing it right now. So I don't even, but I mean, I feel like that's the more like, that's the I don't know, that's the vibe I get where I need to focus on it, because I feel like that asset seems very realistic right now.
Well, it's coming back around to you. So now it's starting the fire is starting to be stoked. So of course you see what I love about it all is you're being aware. You're being aware of what is being told to you, and you're making the necessary adjustments, right? Some people are just like, fuck it, I don't want to be doing this forever, when clearly your talents are going this way. Well, go with that. Go with the fucking flow.
And right? you know what I said? I said the origin story of this podcast too. So again, talking about awareness, I was like, I started this for fun because I thought it'd be fun to do this with friends, right?
Yeah.
The same thing with the concert film. I started filming myself first, and then I started filming other people. But primarily because at that time, a lot of people I liked didn't release none of it. So I was like, yo, it's like a cheat code. If I film you, I get to bounce it in my house.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, or fortunately, it's both good and bad. Everybody does all of this now. Like I started it early, but everybody does all of this now. So now these things are looked at as different things. And I find like inadvertently, this podcast and the concert film, I'm providing platforms for other people. And I wasn't even the goal, but essentially
that's true.
That's what I'm doing. You know, I just wanted to have fun. But now I look at that, and since everybody's doing it, now you got to look at it differently. And I'm like,
you're being an entrepreneur.
What gives me the right to have a platform?
Yes.
Because I don't exist yet, you know. Because it's like, come be on my platform, and it's like, yo, you don't even got foundations on your platform. So that's why I'm like, well, that's why I want to go back to music. Music, all me.
I got you.
So now there's a reason for people like, oh, I like this dude because he does this. Let me see him on this other stuff now. You know what I mean?
I see.
And then do more of the branching out. Because now it's like, well, the platform makes no sense now anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where some of that's coming for.
You have to. You're establishing yourself. Making yourself solid, and all the other stuff. Okay, right now you're doing things that aren't really like highlighting you, or you know. I
mentioned that the hits thing earlier is like, I feel like I'm trying to shift to this too. Like, it's weird. It's like I never meant to like help people or save the world, but I ended up helping a lot of people in my own way. But I'm like, I think the best way for me to help people is to help myself, because then I'll help people. This is true. In a different way. True. You know what I mean?
Good for you, man. Good for you. Good for me. I am. If you could see the little tear.
Oh man.
Because that's true, man. That you can't. That's what they tell you. Like, okay, this is gonna be real dramatic and shit.
Yeah.
But when the airplane is going down, what do they tell you? Put the mask on yourself first, and then help the next person. Because if you fucking pass all, you ain't gonna help nobody, right? So. It's the same thing. You got to put the mask on yourself, and that's what you're doing. So
unless you're Future, mask off. Fuck it, mask off.
Unless you're Future, yes. Unless you're Future.
But we can't all be Future.
No, we all can't be. We all can't. We are stuck with what we got, right? So, but yeah, man, I'm happy for you, because it's like you're thinking about this stuff from like an entrepreneurial perspective, and you're really, because like you said, you started out doing it for fun. But then at a point when it becomes something more than just fun, you have to look at it from different perspectives and angles. And good for you being smart about it. Like I said, being aware. You're in this, like, I'm so like excited for you, not putting pressure on you, but when you get to where you want to get to, because you're already starting so early thinking about these things, and you're not like way down the road thinking, fuck, I should have this and that and the other. Like, you're actually thinking about it now. So kudos for you, man. Because that's tough. Because you're thinking about this stuff, and then you're juggling your personal life, and you're doing all these things simultaneously. And most people can't tackle one thing, let alone all the things you're doing. And then you're thinking about, do I stay here? Do I come to San Antonio? You're thinking about all these things, and you're juggling all these things, and you're still doing all these things. That's the thing. You could have, because I know last year was a tough year for you, right? And you could have just laid down and said fuck it to all of it. But
I did some of those months.
Well, I mean, as expected, because you are human. Well, to some extent, right? I see you. You're not exactly human. I see you.
Hey man, but, Lil Wayne mixtape series.
That's what I'm saying.
A human being.
I'm not. I'm gonna say it. I don't feel like. I mean, I'm just I'm something else stuffed in this flesh bag. Like that's what it is. So I animate and I do what I need to do. But if you were to like, if I could unzip this, it'd be something completely different. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So that's what I choose to believe. And I can recognize that in others. So I see you. I see you. I see you a little way.
What would you be?
I mean, it'd be more like, I feel like I'm more of like a light being. Like if you see my Instagram tag, Quasar Bright.
Yeah.
So I feel like a quasar. Like I'm the brightest object in the universe stuffed into this.
Shining.
Yeah, shining bright. And it comes through. My personality comes through with what I'm trying to do. Like I get so excited. And if it wasn't for this flesh, it'd be like
too much.
It'd be too much. Yeah. Exactly. The container. Like I call this body
safety.
For your safety. For your safety. Like I call this body like my Shelly, like my starship. It's the USS Shelly. That's her name. So I have to do better. Like it goes like.
Where's that name come from?
It's from Star Trek, Star Trek,
Oh,
USS
okay.
Enterprise.
I'm not the hardcore Trekkie, even though I've seen stuff here and there.
Okay.
But
that's live long and prosper. That's my thing.
Do you like the new Abrams movies?
Yeah, actually, I'm really impressed with those movies. I feel like they were casted very well. The first one was just fantastic.
Okay.
I really enjoyed the first one. So yeah, I have no problem with him.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Yeah, and then speaking about the shows, Star Trek Discovery, that was pretty dope.
That's the CBS streaming.
Yeah,
one?
and then Picard's coming. Yes, that was okay. I'll be honest.
I just haven't seen them. I haven't seen it.
They're super good. I mean, I enjoyed them.
I've seen the Abrams one, but I haven't seen the streaming.
If you have time, I definitely would check it out. I will say the second season, the main character got real like angsty and whiny, and I'm like, no, she used to be real strong and confident. So, but other than that, like what Discovery was about, what the cast was about, I loved it. But I mean, nothing tops Generations. Like that's the one with Picard, Worf, like that. That is what introduced me to like a whole new world was Generations.
I used to watch a lot. They were airing concurrent to each other, I think. So there was Deep Space Nine, which was blowing up. That's with the blonde Borg girl, right? Yes. So the other one with the black commander. That was my show. I can't remember what that was.
I never got into those. I
feel like a lot of people did it, but I didn't like. They would show it. That was probably the beginning of me keeping bad hours and staying up late, and they would rerun it Sunday nights, so like at midnight and 1 a.m. And I just rocked with that show.
I tried, man. I tried.
I like that commander a lot, and I liked. It's like it seemed like a chill craft. I feel like the other shows about exploring, I feel like that one was like a home base.
Yeah, it was.
So they just chilling and things would happen.
You're straight up. The other ones, they're going out to planets and they're like intermingling. And this one was just the others are stationary and it's the drama going on the home planet. Yeah. Give me the exploration. Give me the stars because that's where my heart is at. My heart is in space.
So that's me before 18. And so I feel like back then I had no goals. I just wanted to hang out with my friends. Maybe that's why I left that show.
Hey, man. Simple goals.
Yeah. Even when I end up moving here, like, I know what was happening. I have no idea what would have happened when we had a
But you do know that's normal at that age, right?
I don't know.
Like, but I'm telling you, because you sound like you're real hard on yourself. Like, fucking everybody was feeling that way. Like, you were not the only one. Yeah, that's normal shit, so.
I guess.
Continue. What were you saying? So you said you moved here, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, now you want the host?
Fuck yeah! You can't just start no story. Tell me.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's a story to it, but I'm like, I wasn't even going nowhere with it.
Oh no, you
so
weren't.
It's like,
well, then I guess I just cascaded into some crazy shit.
I was like, still thinking about Star Trek and stuff.
But yeah, so like,
don't look like a pizza.
Oh, I know. I keep going back to this house. Because the energy, like I said, I'm very sensitive, and the energy is just, it feels so good. Like I feel a lot of love has just happened in this space. Just there's a warmth that radiates that just I feel super comfortable. And it's like this space was meant
enough to take a shit on. I remember watching on the security camera this dog just taking it. What? Because you like talking about his energy and stuff, and I was just like, there used to be a roommate that doesn't live here no more, but it like Craw's very nice, so he's like on the security cameras though. He has it, and it's like one right there. Yeah. The dog literally is just going. He's like, see, taking a shit again. It's like doesn't even like run out, stop it or not. He's just like calm about it.
That's just what happens.
Like, he don't want it. he's like pissed, but at the same time, he's just like calmly
like, well, what are you gonna do about it? Being pissed ain't gonna put the poop, ain't gonna put the poop back up that dog's ass, right? Yeah. So what's the point? That is a huge thing. Yeah. To be able to understand that point, that, man, I used to get so frustrated with work sometimes. But then when I really started understanding that, look, the situation happened. Yeah. Whatever it is, it happened. Now, my emotional reaction to that dictates everything. So when they say those things, like, man, I used to be mad at my mom when she say, don't cry over spilt milk. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? What does that mean, right? Well, it's true. The milk spilt. Crying ain't gonna put it back in the cup. So that's what they mean. So learning and understanding that. So like when you're talking about the poop, like it already came out its ass. So you just gotta. No
matter what happens, good or bad, we can always control how we react.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like I try my best at that, but sometimes some shit goes down and it's like, yo, what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah. So I feel you.
I wonder if that comes from maybe we're so calm for 2 months, maybe we end up blowing up or something. Like
I'm sure there's a little bit of that. Yeah. A little bit of that where you're just stuffing some things down and then it just blows up. But I'm trying to not be that person. I'm trying to release the pressures and the stresses as they come. I'm trying to talk things out. If something bothers me, really being open and honest about it bothering me and figuring out for myself, why does it bother me? Because clearly, if it's something that, if I'm in a room full of 10 people and something happens and I'm the only one that's reacting, well, then maybe it's not really a situation. It's just really what's going on in here and I need to think about it, So, excuse me, everybody gets triggered and gets mad. No, shit. Well, what is it about it that bothered you? Because it's probably
maybe only you're aware of it too.
Exactly.
No, but I mean that in a good way too. Maybe they just haven't noticed yet.
Yeah, maybe they just were. That happens a lot too. Because I noticed the weirdest shit, like the weirdest shit. Like I remember you'd come in, I'm like, oh, nice haircut, or just little things you could tell. Yeah. Just because my brain works in patterns. So I see you today like this, and then when I see you again, you're slightly different. And I notice that. I don't know. Just some freaky weird shit. Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you this. Like, this is kind of crazy.
Do it.
So I'm the type of person, like, it would totally freak me out. Like, I'm at work. This is really going there. I'm in the bathroom, just chilling. And I could tell who's coming in the bathroom by, like, their cadence of their walk. And I'm like, no, I don't want to know who that is. Because then they go in the stall and they're doing some weird stuff. And I'm like, oh, my God, now I know who it is. And it's just, I'd rather not know who it is when they're doing weird stuff. So just those things, like my brain picks up patterns.
Too much about them.
Exactly. So that's why music is good for me, because my brain's about patterns. And so I feel like that's a good outlet to get me there. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how I went from like shitting to like music being, but that's the cascading thoughts.
Compost can be turned into good stuff too. That's why. It's
awesome.
I was talking to someone last night about her outlets. And she was trying to convince me music. I was like, you don't understand. Like, I mean, maybe I could try it. But she was the first person to suggest after the suggestion. So, but she was saying like, I run while doing music or work out while doing music. And I was like, dude, I never do that. I kind of like to just be with me. And that probably comes from because I do music. I'm around it so much.
Right.
Look, just even setting up this damn podcast. Like,
he was playing music. Yeah.
So, like, I'm around it so much that it's like, all right, when it comes to those things, I'm trying to get out. But she was like, you like jazz? I was like, yeah, man. Like, it's like, listen to jazz. I was like, I've never done that before. But I also told her this story, because normally I would just hear the normal stuff. But never, like, pick jazz on purpose for this reason. So I was like, maybe I could try it. But I was telling her, like, man, I was young. I used to go to sleep. Listening to music, like I would have it all the time, everywhere, all the time, everywhere, like all the time. And like now that I look at the dots, I'm like, it makes sense, because even though I don't make music to my 20s, I'm like, that was still a big part of my life. Like I was a bootlegger in New York. Yeah, I was doing all kinds of things, like
that's
with music.
Cool, man. That's cool.
But there was so I would go to sleep with music, but then like the more I got into it, where I was finally like making it and stuff, I'd be analyzing it, and I was like, yo, this gotta stop. Like, so like it the more I got into it, the more I was like, all right, this gotta stay in its place now.
I see. It was starting to take over.
Funny? Okay. You know what's funny? That's, I guess, a young example, I guess, me establishing a boundary. Because I'm just now learning that stuff too, as it was done with me and some of these friendships recently, and I'm trying to learn to respect that and whatnot.
Ooh, that's a tough lesson.
It is. But someone pointed out to me, she was telling me something she went through, and I was like, yeah, man, I went through something this week too. And I told her, and she was like, yeah, you established some boundaries. I was like, I ain't even thinking of it like that. But I guess like in my own way, like me and my sister got into like an altercation. I was supposed to stay over, and I was like, you know, she flipped out over stuff that I knew, but it's like I'm not even like mad, but it's like, man, like it's always given me this feeling like for years, like, man, I just don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. Like it's probably because I just don't want to accept this.
Right.
And then I left, and I just ended up staying like at my mom's place, like cause she wasn't using it because she's not there. So I was like, well, I could just be here and it's safe. And I was like, I just trying to provide a safe zone. The same thing where I was supposed to film all of them on Friday. Like I can't narrow it down, but I was like, I didn't like the way things were going on, and I saw how hard I was. Where I was like, this ain't my gig. I'm not even getting paid for it. I'm doing more than all of you. It's like I didn't want to be here.
Good for you, man.
And then I was like normally years ago, I'll just do the thing and just be mad, and then. But I could also sense like there was some anger, and I say like a lot of like my New York friends have this where like the right thing sets us off. Like I've been, we turn into that. We turn into that thing. Like I've been very good about it, like keeping it thing. So most people have never seen it from me, but every now and then like it'll come out. But somebody, but I've seen my other friend do it, and I'm like, man, he got it to like a T.
Whoa.
Because he's former military and all that.
Oh, man, that's like
he got,
DEFCON 5.
No, it is because it goes into that mode where you're so angry that you know what you about to do is wrong, but you don't care about reality. It's just like, yo, this shit, you fucked up. You gonna get it now, you know? Like, and it's not good. But I felt like there was some of that anger there. So part of me was like, yo, if I don't want to pack up, if I don't want to be here, I could just go. And I just packed up all my camera gear and I left. And I feel like those were both in the last like 4 days. And I'm like, I feel like that's new for me. Like, if I don't like this environment, like, I'll just go.
So you're learning to be a new you, right?
I guess, that's very new for me. And I wasn't even aware I was even like making different decisions.
So how'd you feel after you did it? Like, how'd you feel?
I was just like, I don't know if there was like, so like, I don't become aware of this till like maybe I was talking to my friend and she pointed that out. So I guess after that I was like, that's interesting. Like maybe like I'm now more, just like I'm aware of the depression, I'm more aware of what I like and don't like and what I want to tolerate and don't want to tolerate.
Yes.
You know? So from that aspect, it's cool.
You're practicing discernment. Discernment
is, let's go.
That is a good word. That is, you're practicing discernment because you know what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah.
And this is your life. If you don't fucking want to, you don't have to. People will put expectations on you that you have to. You don't have to do shit. And that's the point. People make you feel like you have to, but people can't make you do anything. You give them power. And then, but because if I had the power, when somebody's like, oh, you made me feel, I'm like, time out. I wish I had that power to be able to make you do whatever. I'd make you do all kinds of other shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't make you. You chose to do that. So you chose to walk away. So good for you, man.
That's why, like, even now, like I'm even when I was, like, I'm telling you, I was probably the most depressed I've ever been. If you saw me like post August to maybe like November-ish, like October, definitely September, October, and the end of August, doldrums like a mother. But even during that max, as down as I was I'm like wishing I could still communicate with her, whatever, talk to her, see her. Like even then, I'm like, I still like didn't necessarily like blame her per se. You know, I may be mad at the situation or whatever, but it's more like because I know like this is all me and like how I'm reacting. So it's like I'm aware I just can't change it in a day, unfortunately.
Right.
But it's like, and even now, like I'll still, like, I'm finally getting to that place where, like, I don't know if I have, but probably every day since July I've thought of this person. Every single day. It sucks. But now it's, like, very less intense. But it's like, especially now, like, I don't, like, it sucks the way it is. And my guess is, like, we'll probably never be really close or whatever, you know, again. But, I mean, like, at the same time, I'm like, she did the right thing for herself that she felt needed to be done, and I'm like, all right, you know, like.
So she taught you how to do that. Would you say you learned Because you said she did the right thing for herself, right? So it seemed
it
like
might have been one of the final examples I needed, so I could do the same for myself because I absorbed a lot from her. Like, I wasn't aware of I was doing this at the time, but I absorbed a lot from her. And I credit her for. I probably have stronger relationships with a majority of the women in my life now because it had me second guessing. Just a lot of my interactions with women currently and in the past. I reached out to a lot of ghosts in my past and stuff. And a lot of it came because I absorbed a lot of her stories so much. And I used to write rhymes for her. And I transcribed her life into rhyme, but like a lot.
Oh, wow.
Like a lot. Like a lot. I probably wrote
so you really got in there.
I wrote like books. But what that did, wasn't aware of it at the time. But what that did is I embedded a lot of that in my head. So that stuff stuck with me. And that's part of the reason why I was down, because now I just have visions and stuff of like, of things that it wasn't even my life, but it's kind of like I would never say I lived their life or nothing, but like I got this picture of it. But it makes me think like a lot, and like I told a friend this yesterday because she was telling me something she went through, and we were sharing stories, and then after she shared that thing and she got my opinion on it, I was like, I'm very in a world post her right now. I'm very cautious of the way I act towards my female creators, maybe all women, but definitely my female creatives.
Okay. Because
I know like I definitely have maybe a bigger perspective that's probably not leaving me anytime soon.
That's cool, man.
Because of that. So like at the end of the day, I'm better for it. But definitely like there's like a I don't know if scar is the right word.
I would say is what I would say is it was a template. I feel like she left you a template of and
it's I will say this. It's kind of sad because I always say I close the way I describe it to myself now is like the door closed for the one, but open the door to the many. Because it's like everything I've learned, I don't know if I'll ever be able to use it with her. Because maybe my feelings or whatever for her, but for everyone else. So it's almost kind of like bittersweet.
Yeah, it's like the sacrifice.
She'll never really like know like how I am to everyone else, most likely. But because she might be like, man, it's like whatever about it. But it's kind of like ridiculous. It's kind of when I think of it.
That's really deep, man. That's really deep from my perspective. How I think about stuff, like hearing that's really There's really profound. Like there's so many things wrapped up in that. That experience for you, like just metaphysically, like I'm not gonna sit here and say like I know all this stuff, but from the things I've learned metaphysically, and what you've shared, like there's a lot going on in there. Like when you say that the many will benefit from this one teaching that this one gave you, that is huge because that's such a huge impact. That was a huge template that was laid on you that you then use as reference to do other things. And so, she's always going to have that special part. And unfortunately, it's always one of those things where usually the greatest lesson you learn from, it's like that sacrifice. Like they sacrifice themselves for the great of the many. But I mean, that's huge for you. That's huge, man. Yeah. Because it seems like the trajectory of your life even has changed because of this female. So.
And 95% of my interactions with her were just text too. I know. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous.
Actually, it's not really because it makes it easy because it allows you to not. Okay, so there's two things with that. It's difficult. It can be difficult through text because you lose the context of like my voice and my inflection, so you can easily misconstrue things. But the other side of it is that you're not getting all the emotional wrap up and all that stuff that you normally would get with. There's a difference between me saying, you know what, I really miss you, and then I miss you, So the texting gives you a lot more freedom because you don't have to confront so many things. So I completely understand where you came from. I'm not surprised that it got to that level at all. So, I mean, I'm not at all. I'm like, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. That's a powerful thing for me, that one. But let me, I'm going to hit you with, because I know we'll still keep going other places. But I want to keep going. I'm going to hit you. I do these life questions at the end.
Yeah. Tell me. Ask me.
It's mad funny, man. I feel like a lot of this was just me talking. I didn't get the you story. Let me hit you with one question here before I do even the life questions.
All right.
I know one thing that comes to mind, but maybe you'll say something else. What since we last seen each other, what cool thing has happened in your life?
Shit. Well, January 2019, I walked across fire.
Oh shit.
That was dope.
Like for you, or were you at one of these things, like a Robbins thing or something?
So there's I've had the opportunity to get to know Olga Laura. Hey, shout out. And she flew to Scotland, became a certified fire walker instructor. And so I've gotten to know her. And so she had an event where you can show up out in rural Texas, and the fire was made. We did a lot of just spiritual work before the fire, kind of getting to commune with ourselves and everything. And then the time came where we walk out and the fire has gone down to coals, but they're fucking hot. I mean, they're red. It's piping hot, and you can see them. So they get raked out in a level surface, and it's about the width of this carpet. Okay. So you're going to take at least a good 2 steps. When you walk across it, your natural inclination is to run because it's fire, but the adrenaline in you just has you moving at a quick pace, and you walk across and you can feel the heat of these coals. At certain points, I went across 5 times because I went 3 times by myself and then twice with my wife to help her across to make sure she didn't fall and roll around in the fire.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool experience because it's hot and it was cold out there, so you can feel the heat from the fire. And then, of course, for myself, I was staring at the embers, and you can see them pulsating. And of course, the pulsing takes you to a certain place. So walking across the fire was really cool because I don't know how many other people on this planet can say they've done it.
Yeah.
And so I did that. So I would say that's something cool I've done.
That's what's up.
Thanks, you.
Yeah,
thanks.
I don't know if I want to do that. I do the opposite, though. I do a lot of cold showers every day. So
you and the heat are just,
Yeah.
See, but I'm a fire sign. I'm an Aries. So for me, this was all about like, oh, this is the fire. This is communing for me. Because I'm not going to lie. When I was standing in front of those hot-ass coals and you can see them, I was like, who walks on fire? And I was like, well, this bitch. And I just walked across, So that's what happened.
Or last night, I was with these there's a story I want to bring up that I'll probably bring up later though. But
okay, don't forget, man. I want to hear it. Or tell me now.
It was someone's happy birthday thing. It was someone's birthday party, but I'm there and it's outside a patio of this bar, and I'm the only one with a t-shirt. Because even it was cool enough that you probably should be wearing stuff, but because I've done enough of the cold shower and a certain type of breathing.
Yeah, you're okay.
I'm not immune or nothing. I just have maybe a higher tolerance.
Yeah,
than
totally.
Most people.
I feel you.
So definitely do more of the cold thing. But I've been experimenting too with the hotter showers too. So hotter and colder. So that comes from Wim Hof stuff. I don't know if you heard of him.
No, I haven't. But that sounds very interesting.
He promotes this meditation style breathing, but in a lot of cold exposure. But most of the records he have are either in extreme heat or extreme cold.
Oof.
He's usually naked in both climates.
Oh, wow.
Not actually naked, but just very minimal clothes. He's climbing Mount Everest, naked, or he's running in Saudi Arabia naked.
See, I would do the hot side of the equation. That's where I give me the scalding showers. Give me that's me.
All right.
It's cool.
But I've been doing lately both. I do. Because I used to only do cold, but primarily I lived with my sister, and she had lukewarm water for 85 years. Trash.
Damn.
Trash. So it didn't matter. I couldn't even do hot if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Then I moved, and I was like, we got hot water?
This is what it's like?
Yeah,
what?
I forgot. So now I do hot, cold, hot. And that transition was interesting in the beginning because it does something to you, but now I don't even feel that either. But sometimes I notice I stay a little bit too long now in the hot just because it's comfortable.
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting in a different mental training because now it's because I will take a long time in the hot part, but is it easy for me to meditate or just wander in my thoughts, which is cool. I enjoy that, but I'm it's also training to like how quickly can I force myself into the uncomfortable training of the code. And it's funny because once I'm in the code, it's almost like everything you want is on the other side of fear. Once I'm in the code, I'm like, oh yeah, this ain't that bad because I've done it forever. So, but it's just like it's still in your mind. Like, I don't want to do this. This sucks.
David Goggins, man. David Goggins. Just mentally push yourself, yo.
Yeah. I read his book. I don't know if you read his book.
No, I have it on audiobook. I haven't gotten there. Yeah. that man is a beast. I love it.
He's a monster.
I love it.
He's a monster. I love his Instagram, but I've been around him 2 months. That his Instagrams make me laugh. It's like doing some impossible, stupid exercise.
Yes.
And it's like
hanging from a beam.
People come up to me and they like, how you not be a bitch? And I'm like, he's like doing all this.
It's like, why are they asking this man these questions? Like, for me, I'm like, I would not step to this man with this ridiculous ass question because you could tell already. Like,
I don't remember if it was New Year's or Christmas. It might have been Christmas. Yo, he did like maybe at Christmas Eve. He went online and I happened to be on Instagram. And yeah, he just let people call in and ask him a question like quickly, and he did like a lot of people. I'm like, it's hilarious. And there's all these other people like, yo, I heard you run, so I ran like a lunatic too, and I'm like, damn, I never ran. I don't know. That's pretty interesting.
That's cool.
So yeah.
So about the running, my chiropractor, shout out to Clayton Hansen, Hansen Health Solutions.
Yeah.
He does ultra marathons and he's into Goggins too, and so yeah, he's doing that shit to your toenails fall off and. Crazy shit.
Did you see that one video? Like Instagram, I didn't ban it, but it put a warning on it because he showed his toenails.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh my god, that was gross. That was that was sometime half a year ago.
He got there was a lot of comments in there like yo man, you need to check that.
Hey, that's his body. That man would probably just chop that thing off and keep going.
That's do you know what's the white guy's name? He goes on Rogan a lot.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Kane Haynes, right? Haynes?
No.
He runs a lot.
Is it?
Like, they did a duo video. It was his, Cameron Haynes, I think. Cameron something.
He's like a bow guy. The Cameron part, yeah.
Yeah, he's like a bow and arrow guy. But he's a marathoner,
It's gonna bother me.
Like him, like ultra endurance, whatever they do. But they went to train, and so he's telling the story of Goggins, like, training with him on Rogan. And he's like, yo, man, first off, Rogan was like, look, man, when you guys train, you guys need a set number because both of you are lunatics. Yeah. And you're just going to keep running to one of you.
Yeah, to one of y'all pass out.
So I guess they had like a number, and the number was like 30, or 40, 50, whatever is stupid.
Whatever's stupid for them, yeah.
But he's like, something happened to Goggins, and I don't know if he got hurt or something, but like, something like sneakers, so he keeps running because he's like, all right, they just kind of had set points. We're going to go here, go there, go there, and that'll be the end of the run. And Cam's like, yeah, like, should I go back or should I? He's like, nah, he'd probably be fine. And like, he's running, but he doesn't stop his pace at all. And then he says, because he's trying to prove like, yo, that shit's real when you see Goggins. Like, he got like another level. He got the Goggins personality be talking. This is real. Because then he starts hearing somebody talking. He's like, you don't know me, son. You don't like that. You ever saw his videos where he's yelling like, you don't know me, son. He's like, he's not talking to nobody. He's just yelling. He's like, I start hearing his voice and Goggins is running. It's like, I ain't stopped. But some man's coming. He's like, Goggins is catching up. And he's just talking to himself. You don't know me, son. You don't know me, son.
Yes. Pumping it up. See, that right there would make me run faster. I'm like, holy shit, this crazy man is after me, see.
I'm going to send you the link because there's a short training video.
Yes, please.
There's a short video of them hanging out and they condensed it. But the end of the video is them training.
I need that, please.
And they have this guy, like boosting both of them up, Cam and Guy, like do one more. Yeah. But for Goggins, he's like one more. But Goggins don't need it, so they're doing shoulder press, and Goggins is doing the same thing. They don't know me, son. They don't. But then he goes into this other thing. Who's gonna lift the boats and the logs? And he's just like, who's gonna carry the boats and the logs? And the guy who's supposed to boast them, he's like, You are.
He's like,
you are.
You don't need a job. Goggins don't need you. Goggins don't need you at all. Yes.
Yo, that video is hilarious.
I need
and
that.
I think they're in like some normal gym. And so Cam's describing. Y'all can't really see it in the video, but Cam's like, this was a normal gym. It wasn't even like a powerlifting gym.
Yes, everybody's like, what the hell is going on over there? You got somebody that just joined the gym. You got Goggins like, yeah, motherfucker. Like, I love it. Yes, please. please send me that, because I laugh because I'm that person. Like when I'm running, I'm like, come on, you keep going. Don't be a bitch. So yeah, you send it to me.
Check this. All right. So I sort of got into running because of that girl I was just describing.
Okay.
She loves running. And I went to Dallas. I spent 10 days up there. That was the beginning of the end. But I mean,
oh no.
But that one of my things was to I really just wanted to go rock climbing with her. It never happened.
Wow, that's cool. Rock climbing. That's cool.
I wanted to do. I had never done it. She had never done it. I really wanted to do that, but she hadn't run that day. I was like, well, let's just run, because I know I just wanted to share that with her because I haven't done it. We go to this trail, and she's like, yo, man, I like to zone out, whatever. I was like, yeah, I don't want to hold you back, whatever. So she puts on her earbuds, whatever. And I knew I was going to start with her, but then I was like, yeah, when I fall off, because I'm like, I don't do this running shit. I know I'm going to fall off. Like, yeah, just keep doing you. Yeah. But, man, the stuff that goes on in your head, like, I guess you haven't read the book, but he's probably talked about it if you heard a podcast or two with him, like, the voice, man.
Yeah, I've heard him on podcasts. So she keeps
on running, and, like, this voice just happens in my head where at that time it's like, one is metaphorically fucked up because I'm literally chasing her because she's running and I'm literally running behind
chasing after her.
But then too, like the voice that just goes in your head, like, and we ended up doing a second day, but the voice that goes in, at first it was like, as I'm getting into that zone, it's like, man, you ain't never gonna catch her, you ain't never gonna get her, like all these negative thoughts that just start coming. But like later, I think I saw her once, or we were doing like a loop. This is probably like day 2, but like later, like she says like, yo, the end's almost there. And then I almost like just kept replaying that moment in my head. The end's almost there. The end's almost there. Like, the end's almost.
Yes.
And it's getting it. And then like it turned into some shit where it's like, it wasn't even about her no more. Like I couldn't even like see her no more. Now it's just like you start making like these checkpoints. Like, I only got to run to that speaker, and I would get there. Oh, I only got to run.
That's cool, man.
And yeah, it was just crazy. It was almost like this mental battle with myself. And even she described it like running, like for her, it's like running's crazy for her because it's like, it's kind of just this is, you always want to stop, but it's like, it's a decision you have to make.
Exactly. That's perfect. Like, it's perfect.
It was definitely a real intense experience. And I kept doing it because I really wanted to like get good and like, in my head, like run with her longer. But I ended up stopping it again because like I used to play basketball a lot and I quit because like a lot of like knee issues and stuff, and like it was mad weird. I felt all these pains that I hadn't felt in years, and I was like, that's why I stopped playing basketball.
I remember now.
And I talked to my other one of the things that came, I was talking about better relationships with women, like I feel like I don't have like real conversations now with my sisters too. Like those are like 2 of the most important that came up. And one of them, she was always into this. And she ran, like, I think the most she ran was like 50 miles. So nothing crazy like Goggins, but she did like 50 miles in a day. It's still way more than me.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, that's like almost 2 marathons.
Yeah, so cool. she talking to her. So I even took some tips to her to change my thing. But ultimately, I was like, man, like, I just don't think it's for me. Like, because some of the other runners I talked to, they were like, yeah, no, you just gotta embrace this pain or something, and like eventually your body adapt. And I was like, maybe you're right, but like, it's just like the pain you feel in the gym from working out is the soreness and muscle, and I'm like, okay, that's safe. I know I'll be fine. Versus the pain I feel from running, bone shit in my back. I'm like,
totally different.
There's some caca feelings. I'm like, I never felt that anymore. Once I got into yoga, I never felt that until I started running again. I was like, this ain't for me. And then I'll end it with this. One of my favorite people to listen to is Faris Sabrahabi. He's a jiu-jitsu coach, but he teaches MMA. He's like at the pro level too. In Montreal, like I don't even practice MMA, but I really want to go to Montreal. When I was really down, I was like trying to Google. I was Googling how the fuck do I get to Montreal. I was ready to go train with this dude.
Yes.
But I love hearing this guy talk. But one of the things I heard, and I just kind of was like, you know what? Like, all right, let me do it again, because there's a lot of cool running training techniques I learned from him that I tried on myself. But one of the reasons I just quit, and then I quit running again, and ultimately, because he said, like, if you're not an athlete, like a real one who makes their living off of it, not like, yo, I run marathons because I'm bored, you know?
Right. Like, this is all you do.
This is where you make your money. Like, yeah, if you're not making your money off your body, it's like, I don't know why you even running, like, because there's so much wear and tear.
That's true. Why are you doing that?
He started like naming like but honestly, one of the things he named was like, dude, you can just do rounds on a bag, and that'll mess you up more than running in terms of like the cardio and stuff.
Right.
And like you won't die, you know, like in terms of that wear and tear. You know?
Yeah.
But he was like, outside of like people who are athletes, he's like, none of you should be running. There's so many other things you could do.
That's
true.
Like, that's true. If the cost is so high, then why do that? Yeah, man. But I just wanted to comment about that. So I went to Holmes High School.
Yeah.
So
is that here?
Yeah, that's like right down the street.
I'm
that's
really
right
bad at knowing because all my high school, all New York, you know.
I know you are. But right down the street from here is Holmes High School. Oliver went to Holmes High School, so I went there. So when I was in high school and we had to do running, my thing that I would say to myself is, because it was the run was called Run to Linton. So the high school Linton Middle School.
Okay, run to this other school.
Yeah, run to this other school, right? Or elementary school, whatever. So we'd run down there and run back. So when you're coming back, you have to run up this big ass hill. It's like, I think it's a 2-mile run. And so my thing is, depending on what time of year it was, whatever, say it was summer, I would always be running, and like you, instead of thinking about like, oh, the bad things, I would start thinking, okay, Christmas is going to come, right? So if Christmas is going to come, that means this moment is going to be over. So I do those things. I start be thinking about the moments of my birthday is going to come, or this is going to come. So just keep moving, right? Keep moving. Because it's easy to go into like the bad spots. So when you were talking about the things you were thinking about when you were running, I was like, oh yeah, I remember mine. And then the high school right down the street. So it was like memory.
Yeah, one of the things that went through my head a lot, like for even now in the present moment, I was like, yo, the quicker I finish this, sooner I get to talk to her.
Yes, that is motivation. So let's move a little faster.
Yeah.
Wow. So this woman, this female, she really changed a lot was very impactful.
Like, she at one. It's weird as I play the game in my head of like, man, like what was I to this person at all? You know, like, but because sometimes I'm like, you know, maybe I just misinterpreted a lot of stuff, you know, as you get blinded by your own emotions. But at the same time, I'm like, I was in a place like where, because, you know, like, because it's very easy for the mind, like I said, I'll never blame her for nothing, but it's very easy for the mind to be like, yo, fuck this person, you know, like see an enemy now, you know, but like, I'm like, yeah, but at the same time, as I'm like, man, maybe I wasn't like nothing, like, because I know definitely I had my feelings for her. I don't think she was ever quite there, even though, you know, I always have that hope, you know?
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like, as much as I just want to say so I can like quickly get over it, like, man, I was probably nothing in her life. I'm like, I was in a place where she told me stuff that she didn't even tell her parents, like that she only told probably like 2 or 3 other people. So it's like, man, I meant something.
Right.
Like, part of me, and I know I probably never know, but I'm like, man, like what really was I? You know, like was I just
this?
Like,
I've been there.
Like, because it's like I wasn't nothing. You know, like I wasn't nothing because she definitely trusted me with stuff that she wasn't even like telling. She wasn't telling most of the world. Some stuff that she would, like I said, keep from her parents. So I'm like, I was in some type of. I remember when I finally go up there, and she's like, "Yeah, man, everybody in my circle of like 4 or 5 people knows about you," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" So it's like I was something, you know?
Yeah. It's like to what levels? Like you know you meant something, but it's like
I know maybe it wasn't like the love interest that I wish I would have been, but I'm like, man, like I wonder like what was that exactly, you know? Like But sometimes you know you don't get to know, and that's easier for me to accept now, you know?
Yeah, because at the time it's like, nah, man.
Hell no, At the time I'm just drowning in it.
You're like, how could I be nothing? How could I be stupid and all those things? Yeah. So fuck, but. Like you said, like, because there's that part of you that knows something happened. Yeah. But there's that part of you that doesn't have the actual proof. So you're just like, what do I believe? Yeah. And then so.
Well, I'm going to hit you with one of the life questions now.
Yeah, ask me. I'm excited.
What is one thing you believe that people think you're crazy for believing?
Okay. There's probably quite a few of them. So let me
you
pick one.
You know, you pick. Yeah, you do. I always say these questions are yours. You do with it what you meant.
Well, I guess I already kind of mentioned one of them, that I feel like I'm this light being stuffed into this flesh body. So that's one thing. The other thing I'd probably say is that I know that in this lifetime, there are things that I'm supposed to do. There are things that I have come to accept about myself that I can't deny. So many people will say, oh, I'm just going along my life doing whatever, floating along, blah, blah, blah. I would say that actually, no, I have a purpose that I have to train for and get ready for so I can do something. I know that. And so some people would argue that, which is fine. But I know I have a purpose and something very specific to do. And doing the podcast, this podcast right here is the beginning to that. Because I have this energy that I know that when I get around people, it does things to people. I know that. And so I'm working on being a better presenter, all these things about myself so that when I start interacting with my fellow humans, I can help in any way I can to help them ascend and move past whatever barriers they have. That's what I'm here for. So it gave you two things.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Thank you, sir.
There's one I added recently, so because I used the list. I mean, it's not even special, and I always find it funny asking certain people this because I already know the answer. Who is your best friend?
Wifey.
Yeah, I know.
Wifey.
Anytime I get people in that committed relationship, I'm like, all right, it's a dumb question because maybe some questions take time to evolve. That one came. It was right before I went to Dallas, but like she kind of like I took it from her to whoever I was interviewing, and she said like, so I asked it once and I didn't like the way it came out, but that's the way she described it, like your body bag friend, like if you killed somebody and you needed somebody to help you get it,
that's it.
And in the trunk, like who will you call?
That's my ride or die.
Then I asked it the first time and I was like, I think this person's freaking out right now. So
like, let me change the words a little bit different. See, if you asked me in that way, I'd be like, yes, that's dope.
But
she's
she's
definitely my best friend. Just because I had to make a decision. We're gonna be together 15 years this November.
Damn.
Yeah, 15 years. That's my baby. We were together. I was 25. She was 27, and now I'm about to be 40. So we've seen each other through our 30s. And the coolest thing about why she's my best friend is because when we first got together, she was already a woman. She was a woman looking for a mature person. And I was still fucking around, being real. But I was just coming off a relationship that was not good. And then here comes this woman, a shining beacon of like all the things that's good in love that you should look for. And so I was still being immature. And I knew that if I was going to have this woman want to stay in my life, there's some things I have to improve about myself. And so I started about this path of improvement, getting myself together. And that led to my spiritual growth because I had to be a new person to be a better person. And so she's my best friend because of that. Because literally when we met, we didn't want anything from each other. We just wanted to be friends. So we did grow from a friendship to best friendship to now being lovers and married and all these other things. So she really is like my best friend. I look at her all the time and I'm just like, as an individual human that's sitting here on this couch, you're a really cool person. Like I can spend a lot of time around you and not be mad. When I hear about couples that say, oh yeah, so-and-so's retired and he's always home or she's always home, and they get on my nerves. Fuck, not my relationship. Like I'm trying to be home with my spouse because she's that dope, so.
You mentioned the retired part. I'm like, I can't speak for the rest of the world, but I feel like for at least probably most of my artist friends, but definitely me, like Kevin Smith, again, I'll invoke the name, the artist bucket list, it's endless. I'm never gonna not have nothing to do. Like I said, obviously
there's always something.
I've done work, obviously, but like I said, I haven't had a full-time job, and I'm like, well, I have a to-do list that doesn't stop. You know?
So tell me about that. Like, do you feel like you need to have a full-time job? Like, is that?
So now you know what? There's probably ways, but I almost feel like I have to go back now, and maybe I don't. But I'm just telling myself the narrative because I got depressed and all that, so it just seems like a safety zone. Like let me back in the Matrix,
right.
That even happens in Matrix 1. Like
put me back in.
I know this steak is whack, but it tells me it's good. I just want to be told.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. So I feel like now I kind of understand. Like I said, I touched on it before, ownership, and I even have a blueprint on my phone right now I can access, but it requires capital to start this plan. Like I was telling, he wanted, he's not even there, but I was telling him like I kind of just need 5 G's and I can begin like a new path to like making money through other things that'll free me up from stuff. But unfortunately, I know that now when I have the least amount of money I've ever had in my life versus before. Had it been like a year ago, I'd been like, all right, bet, let's just start it right now.
Boom,
you know, like,
done, done.
But no, I feel like just one more time, like, cause like I was doing a lot of like stuff, like little jobs here, freelance. But I noticed like I was using a lot of my creative skill set, and I think where it's come to the terms where it's like I don't even care if I'm earning money. Like I still don't like doing this shit for you, like filming for you or whatever.
I see.
Unless it's gonna pay, it never pays like craziness. Like I was like, look, I've never done a wedding, never really wanted to. But if I was getting wedding prices, maybe I'd be like, you know what, I don't like this, but it's a lot of money.
And it allows me to do other things, right?
Yeah. But these were just kind of like replacement for the job anyway. So it was still less time I'm spending.
I see what you're saying.
But it wasn't an exorbitant amount of money making this engineering firm video. Or so it's just like, man, you know what, I'd rather have just worked. Like, if I had to do something I didn't want to do.
Sit at your computer and do something,
do
whatever.
Junk, and then like that way when I get to film and create, it's just for me. Like, and I'm not averse to those things making money, but I want them to make money naturally, not
you don't want the love to be killed by having to do it for profit.
Yeah. So that's one of the things, you know, we live and learn, right? So that's one of the things I have learned in these couple of years. As I've tried to make money from it, have made some money from it, don't like it. You know, like, so that's why it's like,
that's
do
important.
I really like need to? Like maybe there's ways that I don't yet see. But I'm like, if I did have a job, then I wouldn't even have to do any of these like things where I use creativity. And that way, like the minute I'm off that job, like, all right, now we going on me, and I don't need to film your thing. Like, fuck your thing, you know? Like, I don't care.
Your thing. Like you get to do it because you really are invested and you actually give a shit. Versus, you know.
So like that's probably the biggest reason. And like now I feel like I have the mentality. Like back when we were at when I was there, I feel like I didn't have the mentality or discipline or whatever it is to like use that free time, and versus now I feel like I can do it. Like, cause now I know like you need you know, it's like I said with the girl, right? Like you need that perspective. Yep. So that now I can maybe treat everyone else better. You know. Like, but without that, you don't know. You know.
Nope. So. You don't know. That's always the part that sucks, is that you just don't know. And you want to know, but you can't get around that. And so you make mistakes, and then it's like, oh, shit. And when you make the mistake, you're like, fuck. Deep down inside, I fucking knew. Yeah. But I just didn't listen. But that's the human experience. Yeah. You have to have the human experience.
Like, man, like when I got let go from that place, like it's not like I was like rich for eternity, but like I had like so much money. Yeah, I was so scared. Like, what am I going to do? And it's like, yo, if I had that right now, I'm like, yo, I could do
you be fine. You'd be like, with my sweat, I got this, and this.
But it's just like, because I had, like, now I have, a lot of the thoughts as I slowly start, like, maybe, like, it took all these trials and everything to start believing myself, see what I'm capable of, and, like, understand this is what I can do and what can be done in the reality of what the world really is, versus when I was working over there. I'm doing a lot of things because I was told to. Not even from the company itself, just mean from life. You have to have a job.
You were in the matrix.
You
were in the matrix.
Yeah, so it's like, even when I get let go and I still have this, because like outside of like buying stuff, like I don't really buy stuff, you know. That made no sense. So I buy stuff to create is what I mean. I didn't elaborate. I'm like, outside of buying stuff, I don't buy stuff. Like, what does that even mean? Outside of buying like the occasional lump sum camera, you know. Like I'm not like, let me go buy a camera every day of the week,
right?
You know,
or just frivolous. crap.
So I'm usually able to save up a decent amount, and that's one of the things that also helped me be free from true jobness for a long time, because I was like, I just saved really well. So that's also like, even though I'm scared, I'm also like, yeah, well, if I enter the thing, I'll probably rack up stuff again because I don't really buy nothing, you know.
Right. But you're going into it with this mentality, like, oh, now you know what's up.
And now I know like what to do, how to break free, like because I'm breaking free.
You have to.
This year, I'm telling you, it's the beginning. I'm telling you, man, like the ownership thing is happening. Like in a lot of ways I already do, but like we taking that. that to a next level. Like things are less cloudy now, you know.
You're right. Right.
And all these hardships or whatever, just like like I don't know if you play RPGs or video games. You know?
Oh yes, yeah. I just came off Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay. Woo. So like the classic RPG shines the map. The map is full of darkness, and as you go, you know. But now you know where not to go. Yeah. You know, so it's like, all right, things are slowly starting to make more and more sense.
Well, good man. I'm happy for you for that, and it's spreading.
Sucks in the moment, but you know,
it always does. It always does. And then when the dust settles, you're like, oh, yeah, wasn't too bad. What else you got? What else is on your list?
If you were rich, how would you live your life?
I would live it spending. I would spend it traveling so I could learn, just to absorb cultures, absorb just different thought patterns, just absorbing. Not just to travel to fucking travel. I mean, yeah, I want to see things, but I want to get in the people. I want to be immersed in that. So yeah, and then of course, helping my fellow humans along the way, doing the things I can, but definitely spend it traveling, and then settle down into like just get some land, just a normal house. Of course, it'd have like bells and whistles, like heated floors and stuff, but I don't need like a huge acreage of like a house, like just something small, and just be comfortable.
A lot of my friends, right, who are musicians, like everybody here, they all want to have the home studio, hence like all this stuff. And I guess I used to want that at some point, but my friend was like, when I was in doldrums, he's trying to get me to imagine like the good life, and I'm like, all I could give him was like a blank room, and there's a reason for that. I really like facing myself and training and stuff. But he's like, man, dude, the Abe I see has the studio and blah blah blah, and I'm like, man, that stuff's cool and all, but it's like, when so I get let go, I think December 2015, and in that summer, right, and I'm still, I'm still living scared or whatever, but in that summer, I'm like, the number one fighting game tournament in the world is going. I'm like, I convinced myself to go, and I go, and it's probably the best weekend of my life. But I was only gonna stay out there for like I was probably going to stay there for like 3 to 5 days.
That was the plan, or that's what happened? Yeah,
that was the plan.
Okay.
No, I stayed out in the West Coast for 2.5 months in my car, you know?
Yes.
But that was some of the greatest moments, because I don't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And this stuff kept happening.
Like good stuff, though,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. I ended up in Comic-Con. I went to Comic-Con. I didn't buy no ticket to Comic-Con, but I had a ticket to Comic-Con. Like it just worked out. How did that even happen? Like
it's
funny, because I just hung out with him on Friday, Eric. But my friend Eric, he's supposed to go to Comic-Con. He's sick. And he's like, yo, my friend John told me you in L.A., and it's funny, that weekend I go to Oceanside, which is north of San Diego. So it's like, we're working out anyway.
That's awesome.
He's like, I'm not at Comic-Con, but I was supposed to go. But my ticket is there if you want to get it from the friend that has it, you know? And luckily, they're very lenient with their tickets because I'm not black. But he is.
So, ID, please.
Because I feel like as more, with like, granted, this is only 2016, so we're still in these hardcore security checks.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like the more we keep going forward, the more like hardcore we get. But luckily their badge is just this. Yeah, I was a little worried about that. But I was able to just do this and move on. So I got in.
Yes.
Using his thing. So I was Eric for that weekend.
That's dope. Hey, Eric, what?
Yeah. You like, better answer. Who's Eric? But and I got to see Kevin Smith live. Like, because he was
there.
He does the Comic-Con panel, and I was in Hall H. Finally in Hall H, which is the big ass Comic-Con panel. And I'm in San Diego during Comic-Con weekend, which is not real San Diego. They have their 6th Street, which is Gas Lamp District, some shit like that. And a lot of these clubs look like some dress code bullshit, but on that weekend, you gotta let the Incredible Hulk in to your club, or Iron Man into your club. And it was like ridiculous, like, because all these people, I'm walking down the street, like, just people on people, because I'm like 6th Street, they ain't close it down, so it's just really crowded. But like all these like comic book characters are also walking with me, and I'm like, I'm not near the arena. I'm just like on this street.
That's so cool. It was
great. And I went to get a milkshake because they had an ice cream place right next to the spot. Because I love milkshakes. I always tell people if they sold milkshakes at bar, I'd be dead. Because I don't drink, but I drink milkshakes, and that might be the death of me one day, unfortunately. But
like Jumanji.
But I didn't remember his name. Oh,
Jumanji. Kevin Hart with the muffins or something. Yeah.
I I didn't remember his name, so I didn't want to be that guy. Like, yo, you that dude from that show. So I didn't bother him. But it was this guy from Supergirl, from the TV show, and he was right next to me, and he bought his ice cream too with his assistant and stuff. But I didn't bother him because I was like, had I remembered like who he was, I totally would have bothered him. But should have bothered him because fuck it.
I mean, that's the one time, right? You never know.
I
didn't
see him again since. You know, like, but it's funny. I address it in my lyrics into this song that I wrote. But yeah, man, like I'm out there, I'm having a great time, and a part of me is like, yo, I should just stay out here, but I don't know. I just kind of like I found an excuse to come back, and you know, we are where we are. But man, part of me always wonder, like, man, you know, maybe I should have stayed out there, because I'm not really now, like, I'll tell you how I felt about Austin. I'm not big on cities, like, but like definitely. Like LA has a lot of. I don't even like LA as a city per se in terms of living, but it just has all the things I'm into in terms of the industry. Like if I have to have a real job, be cooler to work at Disney Studios or Marvel Studios, or,
of course,
than it would be, you know, where we work.
Where we work. I love how you
mean, it's whack, and it's like Austin's
work.
a real city, but it's like no, it's not. That's just like now that I live there, I'm like that's just whack too, man. It's I used to call it baby LA and baby San Fran.
Right.
The San Fran part is winning hardcore. And the LA part, if you really want to be out, the LA part is winning on all the junk parts, the traffic.
Oh.
And honestly, and it's not even make fun of nobody or nothing, but like now they allow tenting, so now it's like baby Skid Row is showing up now.
Yeah, all those
like,
things.
Yeah, so it's like all the whack parts. And I've been very fortunate. I've met some power players in Austin, like just Universe and stuff.
Yeah.
I've met them in the weirdest places, but I met a voice actor in a very popular video. You ever play Borderlands?
No.
All right. So, I met a voice actor from that game. And then through him, I met the screenwriter of Jurassic World 1 and 2,
oh, wow.
Detective Pikachu, and other movies. But from what I got from them, I feel like if they made their way elsewhere and they just happen to live in Austin now, and I was like, so this don't help me at all. You know, like this don't help me at all.
That's crazy, though.
It was just more, and there's stuff in there, but like the thing is, there are studios. You ever seen Castlevania on Netflix?
Castlevania.
Well, it doesn't matter. Like
no.
The studio who makes that animation is there.
Okay.
You know, in Austin, but it's like it's so finite. Versus in LA, like it's like all of them.
There's a whole bunch to pick from. Whereas here, it's like
if you look at LinkedIn and Indeed, it's like I know somebody who works at the company there for music software, and he always tells me 3/5. Depending on how drunk he is, he changes his number all the time. But it's either 3/5 or 4/5 of the population there work in the creative industry. You know,
that's crazy. That's a lot.
Versus like that's what I'm saying. So a lot of people always like to say that bullshit about competition. I'm like, it's because this is the only place to play the game.
Exactly.
You know?
So there's gonna be competition. Yeah,
but that's for everything. There's also competition for all these jobs that we hate. You know,
exactly.
So it's like you might as well just like lose. Jim Carrey's dad's story, right? You might as well just lose at the job you love. Then
exactly.
Exactly. Because he always tells that about like his dad hated his job. He's like, well, I should probably like go fail at something I like. Then that's the way he took that.
That's the best way to go about it. But you have to have the courage to do that, right? Because like you said, you're stuck in the matrix.
And I'm still slowly. I feel like building that up because part of me, sometimes I talk to people and they're like, well, even though I ain't got no money, like, why don't you just leave now, like to certain places, And I'm like, yeah, but no, but yeah, so. Because there are scenarios.
Yeah,
I've met people who were doing like really great things for Red Bull, and they were like, "Yo, I moved to LA with $300." I'm like, I've never been that broke in my life, So I'm like, and she did this, what? and I'm not trying, like I'm not even trying that hard.
No,
if she did this, like with 300, like what am I doing with my life?
Exactly. Exactly. There are just certain experiences for me that's good for you. Cool. Yeah. I need a little more stability before I do stuff like that. But that might be the trap, though. I think I need that stability. And
it's funny. It's horrible to be aware of this, but then still do certain decisions. Right? We are the narrative we tell ourselves.
We are.
So you know why you need more stability? Because you said you do.
Because I said I do.
You do.
Exactly.
Now you do.
Exactly. What you say is what the universe is going to listen to. So that's why when I said it, I was
like, you want this? My friend likes to tell me, like, all right. This guy seems to talk about bills a lot. Let's give him some bills.
Yes. As a matter of fact, my wife was literally saying today, we need to say the things we want. Instead of saying, I don't want this, I don't want that. The universe is going to say, okay, great. But what the fuck do you want? So I'm going to say what I want. I want this, I want that, I want that, and boom.
Like, I got into journaling last year. That shit probably helped change me a lot, too. But one of the things I started doing after that whole going to Dallas for that girl trip was a big thing. I was building up to it, but, you know, the human mind, we would, like, design. I would, in my mind, not on purpose, but, you know, you're, like, scenarios as to why this is going to work, you know? Why bad stuff's going to happen. But then, so what I started doing is I write in my journal, but then after the journal, then I just start writing scenarios, A, B, C, as long as I want to go or as little as I want to go. And it was just scenarios designing my success. Like, because it was like, well, if I can use the power of creativity to design my failures, it's like, why don't I just imagine me winning, you know?
Yes.
That the sword can be used both ways, you know?
Yes, totally. You know? That's the power manifestation. What we put our thoughts on is what's going to happen. And I'm in this stage where I'm being very mindful of my words because my words have power. And so my thought patterns, like when I said earlier, whatever it was we just said, where I was like, maybe that's not the best way to say it. You got to be careful what you're thinking and what you're saying because the universe is listening. And you want more bills? Okay, cool. If you want to be successful, then you should say those things.
And then I rap and like try to pay attention to words and the power. I try to do that too, especially, but like I was hearing this thing about language, and it's like there's, you know, you always hear happiest people on earth. Some not for 100%, but like there's certain communities they only have so much, yet they're so much more happy, and they're analyzing their language, and it's like they don't even have like words for broke or poor, so they can't even imagine this failure. You know,
that's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. Makes so much sense.
It's crazy.
It's good stuff.
This is my original question. Back in the day when we knew each other at work, I only had one question. It started with this one. What's your goal in life?
What's my goal in life?
Yeah. I might almost retire that one. I almost might be ready because that just might be some past Abe stuff, you know?
Nah, it's always relevant. It's always relevant.
No, for sure. But I'm like, I used to ask people that, like now I know this, but I used to ask people that, because I ain't even know, you know? So I'm like trying to find other people's and like try to come up with one of my own. But now I know the answers within. But
I like that though. I feel like keeping it from your past, keeping that one question and keeping it forward, because it's always important, right? You always get something from it. But I think, but to answer your question, what's my goal in life? My goal in life is really, honestly, to be the best Tiletha Lynn Cannon I can be, and then let everything that results from that happen. That is my goal in life, because I can't focus on one thing. Because I know through the perfection or just the honing of who I am, good things are going to happen. So I accept and embrace all of it. All of it.
All right. 3 things thankful for in life.
Ooh. I'm thankful for my experience.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that. I'm also thankful for, obviously, I'm thankful for my wife. I mean, a lot of things would not be here without, I wouldn't be here without her. And then, of course, I'm just thankful for just having the ability to accept people for who they are, because it opens a lot of avenues for me. So I'm really like just thankful for you, like that I'm having this experience. This is so, you have no idea, being amongst these instruments, amongst the good people I've met here. Like, I wouldn't have had that if I was closed off and just stupid. So I'm thankful for being able to accept people.
I take for granted that stuff. I'm trying to get to a higher level of gratitude. I take for granted. I do the thankful thing every time I go to sleep. So I'm trying to build those habits, but you around it so much, sometimes I become jaded.
It happens. Yeah.
There was a place I was gonna go more with that, but forgot. So
oh well, was meant to be.
The brain fart. It happens. Where you see yourself 3 years in the future?
Oh shit. Well, so you spoke of this time, the linear time effect. So you're talking to a Doctor Who person. So I feel I have a special relationship with time. So it's hard to say that, because I feel that where I'm going to be in 3 years, I'm already there, but I have not realized it. But if we're going to talk about 3D terms, okay. I feel that professionally, I would have found myself placed in a spot that makes me sing. I feel that will happen. I feel that the creative avenues that are starting to blossom within me now will be coming to the forefront, like, because they are just...
They bubbling?
Yeah, like it's like some cauldron shit right now going on, and I could feel it. So I know in 3 years' time, if not before then, I will be doing like my Hearts of Hearts type of thing. So yeah.
That sounds like a good name for a podcast.
Heart of Hearts?
Yeah.
Note to self. Yeah, because I'm observing all this, right? This is kind of going in my head, like, how I can do all this.
You don't even need all this. Cry right there, he do a podcast off his phone. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And he used the Anchor app, so like that makes it really easy to do. It's not. I started this years ago, and I had most of this, so I do a little bit complicated, but it's real easy to do. What is the perfect day?
The perfect day?
Yeah.
The perfect day is waking up and just doing whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
Playing some video games, maybe just chilling with the wife, having good food, and just really taking time for myself. That is the perfect day, where everything is just whatever I want to do. That is the perfect day. Like today, this is one of those perfect days. I got up, did whatever I did with the wife, and we did this and that. I'm here, energy smooth. This is a perfect day.
What was the question that I should have asked you, but I didn't?
What is it that I'm passionate about?
What are you passionate about?
I am passionate about spirituality. I am super passionate about that. Crystals.
Cry. Here, grab a mic. Here you grab. Start talking about crystals.
Crystals, enlightenment. I'm all about that. Self-discovery, I'm all about that. I am so passionate about that. Like, I want to be able to figure out how I can use that. See, I have to watch. What you're saying to me is something to think about. This is something that creatively, wait, I'm not even saying it right. But the point is, this is something that I can take and make money with, but it's something that I love, so I don't want it to be destroyed.
Yeah.
So I'm in that balance right now. But what I'm passionate about is my spirituality. Like, hands down, I'm talking about my meditation, talking about just being in alignment with what's going on with the energy. Super passionate about that. Super. So yeah, what am I passionate about? That's a good question.
How do you what do you do to meditate, or how do you meditate? I feel like there's 500 different meditations in this world. So
me, I get up in the morning because it's quiet. Like, not just like my wife sleeping, but everybody in the apartment. So it's quiet, and I just get up and I just really focus my brain. Well, so I used to have this cave that I would walk into to help shield me from all the chaos that my brain could not shut off. So I'd walk into a cave that would protect me from that. And so from there, I'm seeing this cave. It's this cave, and had one cherry blossom tree in the middle of this cave. And so while the wind and the ocean is whipping around, I'd walk into this cave, and it's peaceful. I'd sit under this cherry blossom tree, and I would just close my eyes, and I'd really just focus on just shutting out the noise and just focus on my back against this tree and how it makes me feel. And then I bring in my breathing. And then once the breathing becomes automatic, I would slip into this theta state. So that's my meditation practice. And of course, I have my phone to kind of give me when it's been 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
And then because I do have a time period, which kind of jars me out of the meditation, which I really don't like, but that's kind of what I have to do for
life
now.
Right now, yeah. It's the anchor to pull you up from the ocean.
Exactly. So that's my meditation process. Yeah.
All right. If you want people to find you online, how should they find you?
On my Instagram at Quasar Bright. That's it. That's me.
All right. Last words?
Thank you for this. This was an amazing experience. This has unlocked so many things in me.
I talked for like a lot of it.
But it was stuff I needed to hear. So that's the point of it. So this was good for me. I needed it. I needed this more than you will know. Thank you so much. I'm so glad. We've been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah,
so the fact that it happened at this stage in my life is perfect.
So we can always do more too. So
of course.
Ain't no limits.
All right,
That's
man.
the P, baby. Never.
We'll do that. We'll do that. Thank you so much.
All right. Bake that chicken. Smoke that turkey.
Yes,
Boosh.
that's what I'm talking about.
Fire pizza way.
Hey, do that and send that shit, brother.